Nice meeting you after a long time. Welcome, Dr. Arjun
Same here.
from Parda Medical College. Could highlight especially what is the core problem that you have identified, what is the solution that you offered, and what is the outcome. Keeping these three things, whatever the innovations that the department has done, where you directly involved, that will be a great learning. And you can also make a presentation if at all you have a presentation.
So, thank you very much, Dr. Satyanarayan. It was really pleasure to see you and talking to you again. So, as I got the objective of the today's interaction is to share the community-based innovations, what we are doing at Sevagram, and how it was started, and how it was running, and what the impact we got out of it. Four to five families, depending on the size of the village. Like there are 500 households, so every students will be given five families, and during that camp, they will go to that families and will try to fill the schedules. So we have a various schedules, adolescent schedules, elderly schedules, MCS schedules. So we will have a classes in the morning in the village, and afternoon they will go to the families. And initially we try to keep it as simple as possible, because these are the first year students. They don't have a much idea about the medical education, so the repo building, collecting the details. However, we try to give them early clinical exposures by not only clinical skills, but we teach them how to check blood sugar by the capillary method, blood pressure measurement, height, weight, BMI, and also how to communicate with the patients. And in the evening time, we will have a specialist OPD in the village, where the specialist from the Sevagram will come there, and the students will identify the person with the sickness in the family, and they will accompany that person to that specialist OPD, and that person, family member, will get a treatment free of cost during that entire camp duration. So they will also get exposure how they are taking history, what medicines they are providing. So again, apart from our early clinical exposure, the main objective is to community immersion. So that students will be responsible for the health of that five families for next 3 years. How? At the completion of the 15 days camp, every month that batch of the students will visit the same village. Like we have divided Saturday. So first Saturday for the first year. So every first Saturday of the month, that students will go to that village by vehicle of our college, and every visit has a some theme. Like last visit of our last theme of our visit was the anemia. So we will teach them anemia prior to the visit, but during the visit we will give them certain tasks, group tasks and the individual tasks. Like if you're going to your five families, go and check for the anemia, identify the person with anemia, provide a treatment, ask or give the dietary advice. And the group task would be one group will go to the ASA worker to find out what services they are providing. One group will go to the Anganwadi, and likewise every visit is scheduled. So which includes the environmental and sanitation visits, include the nutrition, include the RMNCH, and also include the NCD. So every month they will go their family for the next 3 years, and at end of the 3 years, when the PS and community medicine becomes a major subject, so the final exam, final practical exam of the community medicine will taken into the same village, into the same family. And
Hmm.
what we'll try to do, assessment would be the what change that students able to bring into the family. So we also try to understand from the family what students has contributed in the family. Every time change is not possible to carry out, but what efforts that students have put it to bring that change, and what reflection students is providing based on the learning what students have. So this camp also help us in giving our education, because it provide an authenticate experience. I mean, whatever example we want to give, students themselves will give an example. Like, sir, we went to the village, but we gave that advice, but it didn't work. That was the problem. So in the last anemia visit, students were giving very interesting reflection that we are very much medicine oriented. We have made the committee very much medicine oriented. They are not open to have a non-pharmaceutical advice. So they themselves are getting that important points through the real experience. So After 15 days residential camp for the 3 year, they will be taken into the village every month, and end of the 3 year, they will be assessment will be carried out for the particular family. And apart from
I
the
think this is
medical education, we also
the
try to
innovation.
include the ethics.
Arjun, the innovation in terms of medical education, especially the preventive and promotive healthcare. While I know we have a tendency in every medical college to assess the students based on the theoretical knowledge. But here is
Right,
the
right.
unique approach where you are attached to villages and allocated certain families to the students, and then constantly they interact and engage and try to learn, not only just guide the families, villagers, but also they learn themselves. And your assessment is based on their reflections, their solutions, their local understanding, which is a wonderful way of connecting to the community, and bringing changes in your thinking process itself. I would say it's
So
wonderful. I don't know why other medical colleges have not adopted, but we'll try to adopt some of these things in our education, postgraduate public health education with medical doctors. Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much. So, the dissemination of this model and the replication has been tried many times in this country. Even from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, many times delegation of the IAS, HODs has been sent to the Sevagram, and many colleges has tried also. But it was not sustained for long. Currently, CMC Vellore, Bangalore John's Medical College, and Karamsad Medical College in Gujarat. Three medical college has a different version of the community immersion program. Karamsad was inspired by us, but they were not able to provide the residential facility. So they are going there in the morning and coming back to the evening. The same by the CMC Vellore. So I think the residential experience is only in the R Medical College. Otherwise, they have modified as per uh, available resources. So I'm not stories, many objectives, even our portfolio. We don't call it as a journal, but portfolio because it's a very open. Students can include anything: case studies, reflection, photographs, videos. So they also maintain portfolio with them, and uh, there are certain aspects also. We also try to include ethics, personality development into that, and we are also assessing whether the self-rated personality development students themselves rate their competency has been what they feel that what they achieved during that 3 years. So periodically, we also try to assess their competencies. Uh, so that was the second camp. Now the third camp would be the reorientation of medical education. Again, it will be a residential camp for the 2 weeks. This camp will be there that when the students will pass the second year MBBS exam, and they will enter into the third year. So when the first the PSM would be become the major subject. So at the very first day of the third year, we will again take to them the reorientation of medical education camp. Now you must be aware about the ROM scheme. It was implemented in the entire India, but again, very few medical colleges sustaining that ROM scheme. So what we do here, students will be stay at the rural health training center. So we'll divide students into the 50-50. 50 students will come to my RSTC, 50 to the other RSTC. The objective of this camp is to orient them to primary healthcare delivery system. So we want our medical graduates at end of the MBBS, they are competent enough to work as a PSC medical officer. So what we do is that we sensitize them to the primary healthcare delivery system, but we don't take any class. So we invite the actual persons who are working into the field to deliver the class. So DHO will come and will sensitize them what they are doing. RCHO will come, medical officer will come, one MPSW, ANM, ASA, even Anganwadi and Sarpanch. So we invite them, and we have a structure with us, and they are also trained since so long they are taking class. So they will share their experience. Apart from that, we also carry a very small research project into the group, which we call them as a rapid assessment survey. So we sensitize them, and they actually do a rapid assessment survey again with close association with the PSC. So they should also know that research is provide some actionable data. So for this particular research workshop, we want to teach them how research can uh, help us to uh, better solution and to how it can supplement our actions. So they will carry out the rapid assessment survey. Apart from that, there are various other few initiatives in that camp that we also train them how to develop health education material, and they will actually do it, and they will also provide health education to the school, and we also provide some feedback on that. And we also take to them various visit of the Anganwadi PSC and interaction with the public health experts. So this is the schedule for the Rome camp for the 2 weeks. The camp has a different advantage, taking the same thing into the class and into the camp, because they also get some extracurricular activity in the evening. So they uh, arrange some cultural program and various things. Also, they maintain their mess. So it will be the mess by the students for the students. So they will collect the money, they will decide the menu, and they will manage the mess. So many other soft skills also get developed during these camps. I just one thing I forget to mention it that during the social service camp we sensitize them for the various participatory learning and action methods. So we actually demonstrate the social mapping, seasonal calendar, Venn diagrams, and transit walk, in-depth interviews, focus group discussion. So we actually demonstrate into the village with help of the villagers. So they also get sensitized for the various PLA methods. So this is all the Rom camp, and this is the last camp in their entire medical education. Rom camp would be the third one. So these are just an example. I mean, sometimes students do very wonderful things in their adopted villages. They also adopt some of the students. They also do mass campaign for the malaria control. So they have very innovative ideas, and they some of the batches also done very good work for the income generation activities also in their adopted villages. And the bonding they have with that villages is very long lasting. Even whenever we have a alumni association into the college, I'm very new to this college. Just 3 years back I joined, but I've seen that even 30, 40 years uh, back, the students when come here for the alumni, they many times they arrange that function in their adopted village. So they are so much connected with the families what they are followed for the 3 years. We also conduct training of ASA, Anganwadi, and PSC staff. The 5 PSCs we are working very closely. So various skill-based training we conduct at our centers. Some trainings are assigned by the district health system, and some trainings what we felt it is very important to have. So just for an example, during COVID, we felt that this information is lacking in our field practice area. So we train ASA and Anganwadi, and that association is very helpful for us. That we have a free hand to conduct a training for ASA. So we need not to go for the formal way of asking permission and everything. So locally we arrange training and we train them for various things.
I have enabled to share this screen.
Go into the detail of the community mobilization through community-based organizations. So uh, we have a certain ways to achieve community mobilization for certain objective, and one of the way which have adopted is through the community-based organizations. So we'll start with the self-help group. So this idea was not new now, everyone knows about it, but I'm happy to share that the first SHG in this district was formed by our medical college. So at that time, it was very new concept that how SHG can help us to achieve the health. The idea came from the again community need assessment exercise. So when the our founder Dr. Susila Nair has carried one PLA method, and what they come out is that health was not a priority of the any of the community was deciding near the Bapu Kutir. They are very much struggling for their finances. So what Dr. Susila Nair came up with an idea to establish a self-help group and to solve this problem first, and how we can use this platform to provide a health. So Dr. Garg, who is the director of our institute, secretary of our institute, many times inform us that initial 3 years we haven't provided any health talk, any health solution to the SHG members. Our entire focus was to run that SHG very smoothly. After that 3 years of partnership, we started to introduce the various health talk and various initiative of the health. So we were having nearly 250 SHGs, which was formed and mentored by our department. But now the one change has come in our district and in the entire Maharashtra, that SHG become a very popular concept. And there is a separate department in the government of Maharashtra, which is called Maharashtra Rural Livelihood Mission.
Mhm.
and they have a one initiative called Umed, and they have a various cadre for the working for the SHG. Now they are forming SHG in every village. Now in our SHG, being a medical college, we are not able to provide them any financial support, any extra loan. So they are attracted to the new initiative by the government, and we are also very excited that our SHGs should get a benefit. So we are not restricting them that since last 50 years you are with us, so we have to be with us, because very many SHGs are the third generation SHG.
Mhm.
But now our SHGs number are reducing and they are attaching with the Umed. So what we have found that we have tied with the Umed.
Okay.
So again, we have a on-paper tie with the UMED, and we are providing health education, health camps with the UMED. And whenever they set their agenda for the 1 year, so we try to put health as an agenda into that. Luckily, UMED has a 10 objective, and the two objectives are related to health and nutrition. So they are also very happy to have a help from us. So whenever they need any help related to health planning and health talk, so we provide them that. Currently, we also have a two research project attached with the UMED SHG. One is Weekend from the ICMR. So where we have proposed that how SHG can uh, useful to provide health promotion knowledge and changing the lifestyle related to NCD. So we have tried to utilize UMED network. This project is just approved, so we are yet to receive grant, and we are going to use the network of UMED for that. And we are also working closely with the UMED for the anemia screening, giving the health talk. So now our SHGs are very reducing in the numbers. Now currently we have only 60 from the 250, and in upcoming years we are assuming that it will be the zero. But we are okay with that, because when someone is working for the SHG, so we should not take the burden of maintaining SHG. So we have find a partnership with Umid. But till now, SHG has helped us a lot because we have a platform in every village. So whenever we want to run any program, any exercise, this SHG will come in our support. Okay. So I mean, everyone knows about SHG. How we use them, as I just want to go into the detail. So again, to give the detail how we use, I would like let you know about the Clicks program. So under the Clicks program, what we have done is that it is very important to note that Clicks was before NHM. So under the Clicks, every village we form one village coordination committee. Under that village coordination committee, again it will be through the election mode. I mean, villagers themselves will choose the village coordination committee. How? So before village coordination committee, we have formed various committee-based organization. One is SHG, one is Kisori Panchayat. So what is Kisori Panchayat? So the literal meaning of the Kisori Panchayat is the assembly of the adolescents. So from the every ward of the village, we select some of the adolescent girl with the leadership qualities, and that group size was 10 to 12. And every month, our social worker will sit with the adolescent girl, and they will discuss and talk for some of the topics, which may or may not be related to health.
Mhm.
Similarly, we had a Kisan Vikas Manch, which was farmers group, which was very near to the male SAG, you can say that. And every village will have a Kisan Vikas Manch. So
Mhm.
again, 10 to 12 men will come together to form one Kisan Vikas Manch.
Mhm.
And again, our staff will talk to them. Their primary interest is to know about the various method in the agriculture. So we try to link with them agriculture college. So we had a tie up with agriculture college. So one of the faculty of agriculture will come and tell them new methods. But our objective is to provide the health education. So we will discuss with them various topics. So from SHG, from Kisori Panchayat, and from Kisan Vikas Manch, they will elect one and two members, and these all elected members will form village coordination committee. So this is how, from entire age group of the village, SHG will represent the reproductive age group women, KP will represent the adolescent group, and Kisan Vikas Manch will represent the men of that particular village. So every group, because we have a many SHG in the village, 10, 12, 3 or 4 Kisan Vikas Manch and one Kisori Panchayat. So
Okay.
they themselves will elect one and two members, and they will form village coordination committee. Now, what will be the duty of the SHG? the responsibility of the village coordination committee is to prepare the health action plan. So again, with help of our social worker, we have a one format of preparing health action plan, again modified PLA method, and villagers will identify five most common health problem in the village, the possible solution, who will do it, and how they will do it. So at end of the 2-3 meetings, they will come up with the annual health action plan, and they will set the agenda, and that agenda will be forwarded to the each and every committee mobilization group. So we had a separate BCC method, behavioral change communication method, where we select one topic for 1 month. We are also doing currently also, and entire group will be sensitized and discuss for that topic. So KP, Kisori Panchayat, we will discuss about that. SHG, we also going to discuss about that, and with the Kisan Vikas Manch. Unfortunately, we have a number 0 with Kisan Vikas Manch. We couldn't sustain the Kisan Vikas Manch. So as said, it is very difficult to maintain group of men, and we also failed similarly. Just to add, we also tried to make a Kishore Panchayat. We formed 15 in our field practice area, but we again couldn't able to sustain the Kishore Panchayat. So we try to give the same health education to the SHG, KP, and now VCC has been replaced with the VHNSC. But I was talking about the time of before NHM. So entire village, it will create atmosphere. So we were on the same slide. I mean, we were on the slide. I mean, you were able to hear that this was the schedule of the specialist visit.
Okay.
And the objective of this specialist department is to train their PGs how to work in the limited resource setting. So they send their postgraduate students to various government health facility, which is decided by us on weekly basis. Then I skipped those slides. What I told you is that the Kiran Clinic has been already shared with you. So I'm not going into the detail of the Kiran Clinic, that how it was started. Just to brief that it was started from the community need assessment exercise, that we use participatory learning and action tools very widely, very routinely, not for only research purpose, but also for our planning purposes also. So whenever we want to execute any new program and we want to know that perception, we carry out various PLA methods. So one of the method we use in the village for the community need assessment was the chapati diagram. And from the end, every village, the one strong need was that they need a visit of a doctor in their village every day. However, we consult with them. There was some discussion that we are not able to provide visit every day, and we are private medical college. We have a limited fund with us. So villagers come with an idea that we will provide a fund. You just send a doctor to us, and this is how the Kiran Clinic was evolved. So I'm not going into the detail of the Kiran Clinic, right?
Oh, sure.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So what I was telling you that how Kiran Clinic help us in the COVID context. So during the COVID, when there was a lockdown, I mean, many of the village-based private practitioners were closed. There was no availability of the transport. And with the discussion with the villagers, we continue our Kiran Clinic even during the lockdown. So that discussion and the process, we also get to know that how the community involved into that entire Kiran Clinic process. That was our assessment. So villagers sat together, they discussed the risk benefit ratio, whether we should continue our Kiran Clinic or not, and they come up with a solution that these are our observations. You just verify it, and we want to or we don't want to continue our Kiran Clinic for few weeks. How the Kiran Clinic help us? So from the beginning of the first wave, we purchased 2 SpO2 machine in the every Kiran Clinic village, which can be rotated in the village as and when required. We also purchased the mask and the sanitizer for the frontline workers and the COVID warriors, and many other initiatives like providing ration to the needy people. and many other things where we were able to done through the help of the Kiran Clinic.
Okay.
So right. So again, that Kiran Clinic was awarded as the best practice of community medicine department for the teaching by the IAPSM in the 2019. Uh, this has this has been tried by our alumni to replicate the model of Kiran Clinic. So our one of the PG student is working in the Chhattisgarh in NGO, and they have replicated this model of Kiran Clinic in the Chhattisgarh in 2 villages as of now.
That's wonderful.
The members of the BCC were converted into the VHNSC. So we are again continuing the all the process of the clicks even after coming to the NHM. So this is the how VHNS is coming together to form their village health action plan. So that you can see that village health action plan. We haven't changed the format. So it is in the Marathi. So first column is the problem, second is the reason, third is the solution, fourth is the details of the solution, fourth is the duration, and the next column is who will be the responsible, and last will be the who will be the prior, what will be the need, and who will provide the support.
Arjun,
So through the VHNS,
You are from Gujarat or from Maharashtra?
I'm from Gujarat.
You know Marathi to read and write?
Yes, because it's very similar to Hindi.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to understand. It's good.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
it's written in Marathi. I thought of whether you could understand or not. I was just curious. I knew that
It
you
has
are
been,
coming from Gujarat. I'm sorry.
yes,
Right.
it has been 3 years, so now I can understand Marathi fully, and I can also speak broken Marathi.
Oh,
So
very good.
So I think some of the examples, like you can see this photograph where VHNSC members had identified the volunteers and they are installing the mosquito nets to the ventilation pipes. Here, very low cost solution that they train one of the volunteers and she install the tape at nominal cost of 5 rupees in every household. Again, this action will be supported by the Kisori Panchayat and SHG. So our Kisori Panchayat has done a very wonderful thing. If I can show you the photographs, they are also doing currently also that every Kisori will take a responsibility of few ANC. So what
Mhm.
our Kisori Panchayat members do, they come to the VHND and they will do the height and weight of the ANC mothers. So again,
Okay.
they are going to go for the future ANC and they also help us and they also feel empowered. So we tell them to conduct some of the surveys. Go to this 10 ANC house and check for the iodine. Go to this ANC house and advise them for iron folic acid tablet. And we make them kind of dots provider for iron folic acid tablet. So they feel very proud that my ANC has completed 100 iron folic acid tablets. They also help us in the COVID context. We prepared various health education materials and they very well displayed entire the village. They try to be in touch with those who are in the home isolation. So this is how Kisori Panchayat and SHG help us to achieve that objective. So VHNSC will again contact to the Kisori Panchayat and SHGs, and based on the objective, they will just like this installation of the tape in Matka was this responsibility was given to the SHGs. So they done is very wonderfully. Now you can see that VHNSC members are going to house to check for the larva. And we also try to incorporate ANM and ASA worker into that. So system support will be also provided. This is a photograph of Kisan Vikas Manch. But as I told that currently we don't have any Kisan Vikas Manch with us. So what we do currently right now, so as I think you may got little confused with the clicks and NHM. So currently we have a SHG in place where we have a very less number of SHG. We tie with the Umet SHG. We have a Kisori Panchayat in every village, and we do have a VHNSC. So instead of going to the BCC meeting, now our social worker are going to the VHNSC meeting, and our VHNSC members are really very empowered. Some of the VHNSC members also know how to carry out various participatory and learning action methods because they are doing it since so long. So this is how we set their health agenda, and it get executed by the SHG and KP. Do you have any question for this currently?
So, school health program education is going on, but how is the screening being done for their malnutrition, their vision, their height, and is there any technology being adopted to track the children? Because we know that in India the anemia and malnutrition are a big problem. Roughly around 40 to 50% of pregnant women and children are victim of anemia and other nutrition related. Is there any adoption of technology to track individuals and to see that how we are progressing through your intervention?
So I think it is different than the school health education slide, but what you told is that what we have implemented in the village where we have a Kiran clinic. So for the Kiran clinic, we have a schedule.
Mhm.
So every month we'll have at least 4 weeks. So first week Kiran clinic, they will visit the school. Second week Kiran clinic, they will visit to the Anganwadi at end of the Kiran clinic, just half an hour. Third Kiran clinic will be on the NCD, and fourth Kiran clinic will be on the elderly. So this is how distributed distribution was done. So every month we will visit to that school, and we have tried to maintain the school health care card for the few schools because we were not able to sustain it. We have started with the every school, but somehow as because we have a also shortage of the manpower, and being
Mhm.
medical college sometimes we have a university exams and many other responsibilities. So right now currently in my field practice area, two school have a school health card which was designed by us, and we are tracking the child for the same. So with the help of Kiran Clinic, we find malnutrition child. We today's only we have a one meeting for the malnourished children. So with
Mhm.
help of our staff, we do the separate meetings. Again, with the help of the Anganwadi and NASA, we never try to implement any program without taking with us. So we always try to involve MPSW, ANM, Anganwadi, and NASA. So in field practice area, yes, we are doing. For this particular slide, school health education, we are not doing very extensive screening and follow-up. Once a year, we screen for the anemia. This last photograph is for the anemia. We
Mhm.
try to follow up them, but it is not happening as it should happen. So I must say that we have hardly seen any impact through our school health education program because out of all the activities which I have mentioned till now, this was the last priority for our health for social worker. The reason behind that was that since the clinics they are very much oriented to the RM and CHA programs, and now our HOD Subodh Gupta sir many times mentions that now we need to shift from the RM and CHA to NCDs. But again, we are struggling. Our bias is toward the RM and CHA. So, to be frank, we do not have any different model or any. Uh, I am sure that there will be no impact also because many times we are not able to even go there very monthly. So that was the issue. But currently, since last year, we have changed our program from school health education and we have formed one interdepartment committee. And now we are working on the health promotive school. So we have adopted the new concept of the health promotive school, and now we are again in tie with the district education system, and we are going to now we are in the phase of preparing one model of the health promoting school in the rural context, and we are going to implement into the one and two school, and now we are going to check how it can work again with the community participation. So we want to have a health promoting school with the community participation, and we have shifted our focus to that. So currently we are not going for the school health education as of now, maybe due to COVID also. So it has been stopped since last 1.5 years at least.
Perfect, perfect.
So this is the slide how our community, these CBOs are help us to provide community-based medical education. So as I told that wherever we have some initiative, we invite UG students to be part of that, at least PG student. That ladies making Venn diagram, our UGs are helping them. They are doing social mapping in the village. So our UG students are observing them and are actually helping them. This is the photograph of Transit walk, and they also get introduced to the Kisori Panchayat also.
How is this Venn diagram on MCH services that you are putting? Like,
Okay,
is it like,
so
overlap of the services, but it has a mutual synergistic benefit to give a demo, or how is that being done at a community level?
So I'm not sure, but what particular this photograph is all about. But generally, what we use in for MCS services is number one is that the health facility available and the preference of the villagers. So what we do is that we make a circle in the center as a representing the village, and we ask villager to select the size of the circle based on the preference given to that particular center and the distance. So they stick it to as per the actual distance and what is the proportion of using this healthcare facility. And end of that exercise, we try to learn that why they are giving preference to that particular facility over other facilities. And sometime for the needs, what do you think that what should be the need of the ANC mothers? And they try to make a Venn diagram based on the weightage of that particular need. So big circles note that this is the most important need for the ANC to the smaller circle. We Venn diagram also we use for the community need assessment, that the simple Venn diagram would be that there will be no synergistic thing, but what would be the larger circle will provide the most important need to the least important need for them. We have
What?
modified certain PLI methods according to our need also.
That's great. That's wonderful.
For
Thank you.
just for instance, seasonal calendar. So we use seasonal calendar for planning any health activity, and we also use seasonal calendar for the nutrition advice. So generally, we have a two groups. One is BPL families and APL families, and we make a seasonal calendar for the availability of the food in the village. And based on that seasonal calendar, we ask students to prepare a diet plan rather than just going from the textbook knowledge. So students will prepare seasonal calendar for the BPL and APL families, and they will provide a diet plan based on the seasonal calendar from the locally available foods. We also have a health assurance model. Again, Garg sir never let us use the word insurance. So what is the health assurance model, which is also known as the Jawari scheme? So it was again started way back to 1969, where that just to give an idea that our field practice area is entirely agriculture based, and it is in terms of the technology, in terms of the development, it is considered as one of the backward area of the Maharashtra. And this is the zone where this is the highest farmer suicide is registered in this particular area. So 3 or 4 districts together. It is called the Vidarbh, where the highest farmer suicide was recorded in entire India. So at that time, what Dr. Susila Nair has thought that the health is not a priority of the family, but I want that families to think that the health is priority, and I want them to take ownership of their health. So our
Okay.
many initiatives are with the line of the Gandhiji's thought of the Swarajya, where villagers and village should think about their need and they should be locally able to provide solution to them. So Kiran Clinic is one of the initiative where villagers themselves coming together for their problem and solving on their own resources, which is Gandhiji College Swaraj. So one of the initiative was the health insurance. So what Dr. Susila Nair has thought that the villagers should think and should invest into the health. So in a way, it will make them more responsible for their health. So what we have come up with, I'm not sure about that particular figure, but just for an example, currently it is a 500 rupees per month, 500 rupees per annum per family. So for 5 members, so if they will pay 500 rupees per annum, they will get a discount of 50% in indoor bed admission and on certain investigations. So and on certain medications, they will get a 50% discount. Again, it was very difficult for our institute because again, it is a private institute. It was a private institute at that time. Currently, we have a tripart agreement with the government. So all our expenses, out of all expenses, 50% bear by the central government, 25% bear by the state government, and 25% bear by our Kasturba Health Society. So earlier it was completely on us that our society was bearing all the cost. So this health assurance scheme has costed more to the society. I mean, the revenue, I mean, the fees, 500 rupees is very less compared to the facility availed by the community. But again, it was not to generate money for the institute, but to have a sense of idea of the health ownership by the community. So at that time, Even I just for an example, it should be 100 rupees per family, but some of the families were not able to provide 100 rupees also. So that money was replaced by the jawar. Jawar is the sorghum, which is the staple food of this area. So that scheme was launched by the Dr. Jaju, who is the professor in the medicine, and Ulhas Jaju, but he is very known for his community-based initiatives. So if we talk with him, he has a separate community-based initiatives in his area. So he's working with the cooperative dairy, organic
What is
farming,
what
and many
what
other
is his name?
initiatives.
What is his name?
Dr. Ulhas Jaju,
Ulhas Jasu. Okay. Yeah,
Jaju,
yeah. I
Jaju,
will
Zazzu.
I will take his number and contact to learn more from his experience.
Sure. So that health assurance scheme was the brainchild of Susila Nair ma'am and Ulhas Jaju sir, and Jawari scheme was completely brainchild of Jaju sir. So here the farmers will give Jawari instead the money for the health assurance. Again, he has applied the equity principle here. So the amount of Jawari will not be same for everyone. Who has a larger land area will give more Jawari compared to those who has a smaller land area.
Mhm.
So rather than collecting it individually, they call it do it for the entire village, and villagers will uh, decide the share. That per acre land they will give 10 kilo of jawari. So this jawari is being used in our canteen, and we collect this jawari from the farmers instead of the money. So this is how the village will come together. They will decide how much amount we should fix, and they will decide the ratio also. And this is how the equity principle are being implemented for the collecting the assurance amount. Currently, the proportion of the farmers giving jawar is very less, and it is from the villages where the Ulhas Jaju sir is working. Ulhas Jaju sir has a different field practice area of 20 villages, and is working very separately on his own, and it's very different from the Department of Community Medicine. So our model and his model is a little bit different, and so yes, so he in from the field practice area of Jaju sir only nowadays Jawari is coming. Otherwise, everyone is giving 500 rupees in cash. So this was for the 18 to 19. That from the field practice area of a 90 village, community medicine has a field practice area of 90 village. From the 90 village, this is how the distribution looks like. There is some problem in this slide. I mean, so I will send you the revised figure. It is
Okay.
not 30,000. It is way more than that.
Okay.
It is some issue in this slide. Uh, so again, for we
How
have a
is the how
concession
is
for
this?
the.
I just want to know how is the money being collected? People voluntarily they come and pay, or is it being
So that was
collected?
I'm going to tell for the we have a three method for that matter. If individual will come, then he has to go by his own to the hospital, and the charge would be 600 rupees instead of 500 rupees.
Okay.
If it is coming through committee-based organizations, then they will give one more advantage that even the family member are more than five, it will be taken into the account. So what SSG will do is that SSG will collect the money and they will submit it to our social worker. And our social worker, because social worker are meeting them every monthly for the SSG meeting. So SSG will collect their fund and they will give us to our social worker. Again, it is very important to note that sometimes in SSG there are many women who are even not able to provide 500 rupees. So other women will come together and they will use their fund to pay their insurance. So we have actually experienced that many times that woman says that you do not have a money because it opened for only 1 month, November to December. Then they do not have an opportunity to pay money. So woman will counsel her that it is very important. We will pay on behalf of you. Then you can pay us to the on installment. So this is the health ownership we wanted to have in the families. That health is very important, and the savings for the health is very important. So we also sensitize them that you should have some fund with you, which can be utilized for your health savings. So if it is coming through CBOs, then they will collect it and it will submit it to our social worker. And the third and the most important is that you can see the insured villages. Now the Gram Panchayat, so the definition of insured villages is that where 80% household will opt for this scheme that we tell them as an insured village. So here the it's coming through the So we also motivate Gram Panchayat carry out this task, and it becomes responsibility of Gram Panchayat, and they will collect the amount of Gram Panchayat for the entire village. So this is all about our health insurance scheme. We have a small booklet by the Jaju sir. I can share it with you. I am not sure whether it is available in the soft copy or not, but there are some soft copy materials, so I can share it with you.
How is this Ayushman Bharat, which is being launched, under which there is a health and wellness center as well as a tertiary and secondary care services? Uh, of course, this health insurance scheme has started much before. Is there any variation in collection of money from you through in the form of health assurance after the Ayushman Bharat launching?
No, it is the same. And earlier we thought that many families will not opt for our scheme. However, uh, those who are eligible for Ayushman Bharat, but they understand that Ayushman Bharat do not provide them any benefit for the OPD services. However, under our scheme, they will get a 50% discount for the OPD medicine and OPD investigations. So numbers are rising for our health assurance scheme day by day, even after Ayushman Bharat. The method of collecting money is remains same.
Okay, okay.
Again, my question was to the institute was that I mean, how much money we are collecting and how much we are spending and whether we have achieved our objective or not. But we do not have any answer on the impact of this scheme. This is the limitations we always face whenever there is a delegation from any of the countries. And even during that ISET presentation, the one comment what we have received that we do not have any impact evaluation results with us. We have many initiatives, but we have never tried or we haven't tried very efficiently to document the impact of that.
How about
Even the
if
efforts.
my question is, how about if you could give one or two projects to postgraduate students as an impact evaluation of each of the scheme, like health insurance to one student and one faculty be guiding. That would enable even impact evaluation and also improvise the process, whatever we have adopted
Right.
to smoothen that.
So, very nice idea. So it has been done actually since last 5 years. So we have some dissertation on the Kiran Clinic evaluation. I think I also shared one of the dissertation with you for the Kiran Clinic evaluation. We are also giving short project. Currently, one dissertation was published was on the Kisori Panchayat evaluation. So currently, we are doing on the base of the dissertation. The second idea what we have thought of is that to establish health and demographic surveillance system. So you must be aware about the HDSS concept. So since last 2 years, we have our own HDSS. So with the help of the KEM Vadu Pune, we have uh, funded by our own society. So we have a separate staff for the HDSFs, and the two rounds has been done successfully till now. So with this, we will have a population base, and then we will be able to capture the change by the HDSS system. So
Wonderful.
one solution what we found is the HDSS currently. So our HDSS is for nearly 1 lakh population of our entire field practice area, and it is ongoing currently, funded by our own society.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
This. However, there is a scope of the further improvement and the publishing that. So that we are working on that. So this is the criticism we always get that you do not have enough impact evaluation and the publications with you for your entire
That'll happen.
innovations.
That'll happen eventually because you have a field presence, impact evaluation, and improvising the processes. Fixing the problem is not a challenge, but it is necessary. But it is possible. It can
Right.
be done.
College. So at our every centers, we run income generation activities. So because we have a very good campus here, we have a two large dormitory, which are not in use. They are just used for the camp for 15 days. Otherwise, they are empty. So we give our dormitory to the rural polytechnic college to run their income generation activities. So we provide them students from our various community-based organization, and they also have a mandate to have some peripheral classes for the income generation activities. So they carry the income generation activity there. So these are the photographs of the vocational training. That was the computer repairing training is going on in our dormitories.
beautiful, thoughtful initiative from Dr. Sushila Nair, and many people continue to, I mean, like, dream her dream and then work for the community, which is a great, which is wonderful. Uh, yeah, I mean, I can say that just 1 hour presentation from you,
So I
understanding
hope
the
I have
community health
just
activities
majority
of
of the today's
Warda Medical College is a very very short time, and it is a kind of an injustice if I think that I understood the entire scheme of activity that you have undertaken. I would love to have 1 hour or less, but for each of the schemes separately, so that we can go in depth. We can also
voice is
design a
very.
sort of a impact evaluation plan, and we can see that how we can move forward. We can work together and also learn together. I would say I have to learn a lot from, and our institute has to learn a lot from the medical college, the community department, community medicine department of Varda. I thoroughly enjoyed. I would say that if possible, next time I'll see that our doctors, students can be taken to Varda Medical College Community Medicine Department sometime, maybe spend 1 week or 3 days. So it's a good way of learning rather than you know being in isolation. We are not going to learn. But in the entire scheme of activity that you have presented, I'm inspired by every activity. But as you rightly said, that all these schemes or activities to be optimized, we could adopt technology as much as possible for a monitoring of activity, which is more tangible. We could also adopt a quality assurance or a quality, certification process for such community activity. In that way, our documentation will be much more better, and it's more tangible. What is not measurable, we cannot really monitor, we cannot track it. And what we are doing it, probably Varda Medical College is doing it too many activity. It is not just directly related to the medical and health, but also the other determinants of health, social determinants of health, which goes beyond just health and education, health promotion, nutrition, to the income generation, the skill development, behavioral changes, how the farming community can be apprised about to improve their own farming and not using the pesticide much, but it's at the same time keep track of their health, education, adolescent education, school. It's like comprehensive community healthcare, and also value-based education is what the core of the entire education system or medical education system, which is directly linked to the community, not separating from the community. I guess that all these things are very interesting and very beautifully designed and implemented, but it demands a battery of people with a lot of passion to continue to push in that direction. Not only in one medical college, I would say every medical college, every institute should adopt this sort of insurance. We need to try to correlate and look at the Ayushman Bharat health insurance scheme and the state government health insurance scheme and the Varda Medical College health insurance scheme. What are the differences? What are the similarities? What are the synergistic sort of outcomes that we can see, and what is the technology that we can adapt to track? How is that impact evaluation that we can make? All those things we can go in depth if we discuss one scheme at a time. And I would urge, if you are comfortable, we can have at your convenient time, once in 15 days, 40 minutes we can fix to discuss one scheme in depth. Will it be comfortable, or is
Okay.
it, yeah, that might potentially be
No,
beneficial?
I think
uh, yeah.
that will be very very important and it will be very useful for us also. So as you told
And
that cross learning is the most important thing, so we can also improve and we can discuss in further detail, so that is wonderful idea, I think.
many things, I think today's meeting has opened up many opportunities to learn, the cross learning. And I would say learning for our institute is a huge, because the Varda Medical College has a history of running for years and innovating. Especially the medical education innovation is very unique, It's not just theory, it is in practice. Not many people do practice, but how effective the practice is, how qualitatively the output is, we don't know. But the very idea, the very design is very beautiful, very graceful. I would say that is a need of the hour in every institute. I would like to thank you once again for wonderful presentation. I would like to thank you once again for wonderful presentation.